Hi, this is Randy Lavick, and I'd like to give you an overview of the Digital, Social, and Mobile Marketing Program and the deliverables you'll receive as a client. Our objectives are as follows. First off, we want to build a real-world business management experience for our students. In other words, they are going to be building a marketing plan for the current year for your company that's tailored to the markets that you want to develop and your ability to invest in that market. And so we want to make it as real as possible so you can take their plan and actually implement it to the benefit of your business. The second thing we'll do is we want to teach the students how to use digital analytics using best of breed systems to really define the markets that you have and that you want to develop. Also, the influencers who are at the center of the community conversations, the topics that are hot right now, and where your competitors stand on there, your competitive footprint. Basically, our objectives are to give the students a real world business management experience. That means building a plan designed for your company, tailored to the target markets that you want to develop, as well as your investment capabilities for the next year. We want a plan that's realistic enough that you can begin to use all or a significant part of it to improve your business results. Second, the students will learn to use digital analytics using the best of breed systems from several companies. And what we want to do is we really want to understand and quantify and evaluate your high value markets, and then understand where they're at on social. Look at your competitors and see how the world views them in terms of sentiment, whether it's positive or negative. We want to identify the hot topics that are driving your industry right now and topics that you'll probably want to get involved in. We also want to go through and identify hashtags and keywords and other information that will be useful for you in building all your entire marketing program. Third, we're going to create a holistic multimedia marketing strategy. Today, people consume content on text, but they also do it in the audio world as well as the video world, and we'll figure out how to do that. We'll also mix together traditional marketing like email blasts and banner advertising and things like that, along with social, to give you a holistic marketing plan. We'll identify and talk about the development of influencers and the importance of that in your business strategy. And we'll tell you who they are. And then we'll also identify the social assets that are being used by your high value markets, which means they should also be used by you. And then we'll do a presentation and feedback of our entire marketing program and justification to get feedback from your business team. And so I want the students to hear feedback as to what you liked and what you didn't like about what this business solution that they put together. So here's a overview of our methodology. We build our entire marketing programs based on a methodology developed by YouTube, and it starts with Hero. Hero are the events that really build your brand as well as grow your market share. This is where prospecting will occur, and the students will put together several hero content launch points where you will actually want to grow your business by creating buzz in the industry and bringing those prospects to you. The second type of content we'll deal with is called Hub. Hub content is designed to build a relationship with your markets. One of the things we're going to give you is a 52-week calendar by topic area. So we'll put the hero content in first. We'll ramp up and follow up that. Then we'll put in hub content so that every week you have something topical that you could discuss using a variety of different social assets. Does that mean you have to do it every week? No. But the key is you'll at least have the identification of what's important to your target market. What are they talking about and what are they concerned with, so that you can use that to build hub content when it's appropriate. And finally, we will put together help content. Help content is designed to help your customers best use your products and services. And the students will mix these three together along with a couple of other things to build a 52-week program for your organization. The way we're going to do it is we first identify high value markets. You'll tell us who the markets are. Then the students will go on and build a persona and a description of that market. Each market will go out and quantify how many people are there either in the United States or worldwide or whatever your target market is. And then what is their value? And one of the things we're going to need from you, in addition to identifying who these markets are, is we need to have either the first year or the first purchase dollars, in other words, the revenue that they will generate. And the reason we need to have that at the start is that when you get to the end and we're actually doing the business justifications, we want to accurately forecast how many sales you'll get and how many dollars you'll get, because then we can justify the budget. The next thing we'll do is a digital analysis. They're going to identify your competition and their positions in the marketplace. We'll also identify their social footprints, and we'll identify the key markets that you want to develop in terms of who are the influencers talking to them, what communities are they in, what are the hashtags and keywords that they use, and we'll give that to you because that's very important for us, to do SEO and, in other words, search engine optimization. We'll identify hot themes and topics that people are discussing right now, and we'll do what's called a sentiment analysis. We'll look at your competitors and say, are the markets positive about them and negative, and if so, how? And the same thing's true on the key themes and the positions the influencers are taking around those themes and topics. So we're going to get an analysis of how the market's reacting to different things that are stimulating them and how is it all put together. So we'll give you a really good overview of that. We'll then build hero content. Hero content is where we're going to grow market share. It's where we want to focus our business dollars to really maximize the growth of your company. What we'll do is we'll integrate it into a nurture marketing structure, meaning we will do the hero content in a way that builds a database of these prospects for you, gives you their email addresses and additional information about them so that you can market to them. We want to justify everything and figure it out relative to the competition. Or is this something that will give you competitive advantage in the marketplace? If not, we'll change it. We'll also justify it relative to the target market. Is this something that will really excite them? And the hero content becomes a key focal point of the year, and we'll do 2 to 4 of those. Then we'll do what we call hero ramp up and follow up. This is where we mix traditional and social media together in a multimedia experience to ramp up the number of people that will be participating in the hero launch. And so we want to incorporate all your social assets and determine weekly and daily activities to ramp up to that. Then we develop a 52-week calendar using what we call the 5 H's. We'll look at holidays relative to your target market and identify the dates of those. Hobnobbing means what are the conventions and conferences and activities and events that they will go to. We'll identify those and glean out as much information as we can so you can use that. Then we do hero, hub, and help as our levels of activity. So it puts together a 5H solution that gives you a 52-week calendar plus actually daily activities. And so when we go to the next step, we'll create the Go Viral marketing plan, which is how do we ramp up the hero events and support all the other activities? How much resources are going to take? How many dollars are we going to expend? And we put it into major categories so that you can see where the dollars would be spent in email marketing and banner advertising, Facebook advertising, and so forth. And we'll create a year-long budget and then also a pilot budget to prove concept as we go to the final presentation. We're going to give you, here's what we think you ought to do for the entire year, but here's a shorter time period where you could at least test it and see that it works. Then we'll develop your marketing budget. We put together the hero investments, the staffing requirements that you'd have to make. We're going to load it fully for staffing, but you, of course, will probably have some staff that could take many of the positions. That's fine, but we'll figure it out from a holistic point of view. We do the go viral marketing plan, identify any technology that we're going to purchase or that we'll be using, and then we'll do hub and help expenses as well. The final steps in our process is we will do a performance funnel and what if analysis to figure out a couple things. Will the plan work? What are the KPIs that we need to track by level? Exactly how will we know we're succeeding? What is the risk associated with this plan? In other words, we're going to figure it out from the average, the optimistic and a pessimistic forecast to make sure that it will pay back no matter what happens in the marketplace. And then what is the break even and the marketing ROI for each of those scenarios? What we'll do is we then take that and we put together a final justification and presentation for you. We will make recommendations. We'll define a pilot project to test validity. We will talk about strategic recommendations we'll make to your firm in terms of positioning of your brands or things where we see you have opportunity. We'll also and risk, and then we'll give tactical recommendations as well. So you receive a comprehensive market analysis, identifying and describing your high value markets, quantifying them and giving them value so that you can really understand clearly what the market is. And then we'll also look at them in terms of their social footprint. What are they reading? What are the hot topics? Where are they at in social? And those sorts of characteristics. We'll identify key influencers and what they're experts at. These influencers are probably people you want to develop as you move forward. We'll give you a plan to grow your market share and build database-driven relationships. We will give you a 52-week marketing plan for 2018 and a complete budget, scenario, and analysis and justification so that you'll be able to know that what we're giving you is a plan that will work and, more importantly, that will grow your market share and pay back very, very quickly. So what do we need from you? First, we need you to help us to define your high value markets. Be sure to focus on specific markets. More specific means you'll get a better deliverable from our team. The one thing we can't do is where clients say, well, we can sell to anybody. Well, then there's no way to define it. So the more specificity, the better. We also need an estimate of your first year revenues that you would get from a new customer. And that's, again, vital to our budget justification process. We need you to identify your competitors. Tell us of your social assets, if you have any. And overview your current marketing efforts, if you have any. It just gives us a feel for your mission and your goals and where you're going. And what's going to happen is, to get it started, the students are going to give you 10 questions they'd like to have answered. That's stuff that's right on this list. Plus we want to understand your mission and who your company is. And so you'll help us define that right up front. Then we want you to provide us feedback and guidance. Every couple weeks, the students will be completing part of the modules in the course. We will do market definition and analysis of the social footprint in week 4, a creation of hero content in the initial plan by week 6, development of the initial budget by week 8, and then the final presentation we'll give to you in week 10. We want you to be at the final presentation. We need you to help us kick off the program, but we may come up and ask you if you wanted to meet with us on weeks 4, 6, and 8. That'll be your option depending on the availability of your team. All these meetings don't take any more than an hour to do, and the key is it will give you some overview as to what we're doing and your ability to feed back to us over time any things you would like us to adjust or correct. Some tips to maximize the success of your project. First, be focused. As I said earlier, the more defined the market, the better result. Tell us exactly who you're going after. You may have 3 or 4 markets. Tell the students all 3 or 4. They'll pick one that will be the base of what they're going to build their program to. But the key is, tell us who you want to develop, but be as focused as you possibly can. I'd rather have you give us 3 or 4 specific target markets and we'll pick the best one, rather than just trying to build that all into one big market, because sometimes that doesn't work because markets are going different directions. Be realistic. We're going to set up a budget. It's going to come back to you with dollars relative to your company, but don't overly constrain them. We've actually had clients that said, you can do anything you want to build the market plan for next year, but don't spend over $5,000. Well, that's impossible. And so what we would like you to do is when we go through the budget, it may be a reach for you. We'll certainly trim it back with the pilot program, but don't try to constrain the team with these numbers and oh, we can't do it because we don't have people. We'll put in our budget, what it would cost to do it, and we'll justify it with the payback. And so again, don't be too constraining. Be positive. Sometimes the students will come back from their statistical research and the digital analytics with things that kind of challenge your knowledge of your markets. Dialogue with them to best understand what's going on and what they're seeing that's different from you. And our teams, we're trying to teach them how to successfully engage with a business like yours. So as we go through it, dialogue with them and be positive, because they're trying to put together a puzzle with a lot of moving parts that will eventually become your marketing plan. And they need to feed back to you what's going on, but they also want to hear from you where you might see things a little bit differently. And finally, have fun. Enjoy the journey. It is really a fun class, and these are very, very smart students. And they're going to give you a very exceptional business plan. So enjoy the journey and have fun with it as we move through and build your marketing plan.